Morning, brethren. Welcome to another daily devotional. This morning we're still in verse 7 of 1 Corinthians 13, thinking about some of the different characteristics of love. And what we're thinking about today is where Paul says, love hopes all things. Yesterday we were thinking about love believes all things. And he carries on with another equally positive assertion about love. Love hopes all things. And of course, in the context, he's particularly thinking about hope when it comes to interpersonal relationships. Love looks at the bright side of things and does not despair. We could say it's like a godly optimism. Purposeful, it is hopeful, and it is positive. And how important that was when it came to the situation in Corinth. We know, for example, from the early chapters of this letter that there were all kinds of problems in the relationships between the Christians in this congregation. They were divided into factions. There was some who were acting in a very immoral way. There were others who were taking fellow believers to court over things that they should have been able to sort out between themselves. So all this was going on. And in a situation like that, it would be so easy to despair and to think to oneself there's no chance of improvement, no chance of unity between those who are against each other, no chance of uprightness in those who are living immoral lives, no chance of those two opposing people sorting things out between them instead of having to go to court. But love believes and hopes that things can, by the grace of God, be sorted out, and that if the parties are willing to approach things biblically, they will work out right in the end. And that's good for us to remember too. Love hopes. It hopes. Think about it in our situations. Two people, for example, who have fallen out in the congregation, and we think to ourselves, oh, there's no way they'll ever be reconciled. One speaks ill of the other, and the other speaks ill of them. Love hopes and love believes that despite what it may appear, that these two people could be reconciled. Love believes it is possible. Or we look at the church today and we see our congregations are getting smaller. The age profile of many congregations is getting older, with elderly people predominating and very few younger ones coming through. And we wonder what's going to happen in 10 years' time. And it would be easy to despair. Love doesn't do that. Love hopes. It hopes that by the grace of God, other people will start attending church. People will be converted. God will add to the church. Love hopes. Take it on a national level. We look around us and we see the terrible state that our nation's in. We see laws that flagrantly go against the law of God. Think of one incident of abortion, or one example. The abortion statistics in our own country are beyond belief now. Far from what anyone could have imagined in 1967 when David Steele brought in the Abortion Act. Now it's basically abortion on demand. And we look and we despair and we think nothing could ever happen. Well, love hopes. It hopes that God in his grace and mercy will work. It hopes that God, through his church proclaiming his word, God will stir up people and bring them to see abortion for what it is, the slaughter of thousands upon thousands of as yet unborn children. Love hopes. I wonder, brethren, do we have that love in our hearts? A love for God that believes that with God all things are possible, and that being the case, love hopes. Hopes for the best, is positive and optimistic, regardless of what the circumstances might be. Take that hope with you into the day ahead. Every blessing, brethren.